So let me get this straight. You telling me that my Louis Vuitton and my other few designer bags are made in China?
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory.
Listen, I ain't even mad at it. I ain't even mad. I'm mad I spent this much money on these bags. If they're saying that Birkins are being made in China, you already know that Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, and everybody else is being made in China. That's why I am never impressed by all the money that people spend on these bags. Never be impressed, baby. Never be impressed, because your bag, our bags, was made in China.
One bag costs 6,150 from the boutique. The other 300 made by me.
Have you guys seen that TikTok video that the Chinese guy posted about exposing how luxury goods are made? Basically, most of the luxury brands we use every day are made in China, then shipped to Europe and sold to consumers at a premium. A wedding ring that we can buy for $2, they turn it into $2,000. China is the world's largest processing plant. You buy Gucci, 80% is made in China, Prada, 60% is made in China. Even Chanel, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Nike, etc. The only difference here is that China sends them to Europe and they put some little label on them that says made in France, made in Italy. It's ridiculous. While people are still criticizing Shein for being cheap and of poor quality, those expensive and good products that you think are made in France and Italy are actually from China.
It ain't no way we've been getting finessed like this, y'all. And China just exposed it all. So boom, Americans out here dropping 800, 1,200, and even 4,000 and more on designer clothes, thinking it's all luxury, all high quality clothes, the high end stuff. But China just pulled the curtain back and showed the world that most of the stuff is made in the same factories with material that costs a fraction of the price. So we're talking shoes that cost $30 to make, but it's being sold in US for $700. And we're talking hoodies that cost $10 to make, that's being sold for over $300. And jeans that cost $50 to make, that's being sold for $500 to $1,000. That's not high end. That's robbery. Y'all, and this is the crazy thing. This is not even new. A lot of people just been blind to it. They think it just because it got a fancy label, that means it costs more. In reality, that just means the markups is better. China basically said, here y'all go. Now y'all better act like you know. And now everybody mad. They not mad at China. They mad at the brands that been overpricing this stuff they've been buying. They mad at the brands that they've been worshiping. They seeing now, they were never buying quality. They were buying status. And they finally waking up. All of this happened because of this tariffs. People would have never knew. Or some people was really too blind to even notice the fact. But now everything is front and center for everybody to see.
For years, I like nice stuff, just like everybody else. I like to look good. I'm an older man, so of course I got to keep my game right. And I thought I was really making myself feel good, because for the first time in my life, after what I went through in my life, I feel like I was on a come up. I feel like I was leveling up in life, And so as time went on, I started buying Gucci, all kind of designer stuff, man. This is just, this ain't even trying to boast, man. This is basically I feel like crap. But I still thank China for exposing everything. We already knew, especially me as an adult, that we do get overpriced for stuff when we go buy stuff. But just to find out that these shoes right here, I wore these in my intro on my YouTube channel 4 years ago when I did my first intro, when I first hit 200,000 on my main channel on YouTube. And I paid $1,700 for these at the Gucci store. I found these online, man. $9.99 in China. $9.99. You know, and I wore these in my intro. And seeing what I'm seeing, how China exposed everything, it just really made me rethink of all the money that I threw away, you know. And so as time went on, I continued to buy more Gucci stuff. I never really bought a Gucci belt or like a Gucci hat or like the Gucci collared shirts. I never bought that type of stuff, but I really fell in love with the Gucci slides. So about a few months after the intro, I went on to buy these, which had became one of my favorite pair of Gucci slides. These were like $4.50 a few years ago. I found these same shoes in China, $1.57, man. $1.57 in China. It's a slap in the face, bro. And you know, throughout my career, as I continue to blow up on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff, and you know, I started to make more money, the more Gucci that I wanted. So it became like an addiction to me, wanting Gucci and all that. And so I went on to buy more Gucci slides, you know, and you know, because, you know, when you on social media, you start making that money, you start leveling up a little bit, you kind of want a little bit more. It's not really to flex up for everybody else. It's really to make yourself feel good. You know, like I did a TikTok earlier in the garage, you know, where I was like destroying another pair of my Gucci slides. They were one of the very first pair of Gucci slides that I've ever owned. And those Gucci slides cost me $400 and something when I first bought them. Coming to find out, those shoes only cost 97 cents, man. So it's a slap in the face. First of all, after finding out what I just found out about the US and China, you know, I want to say I'm highly ticked off. I'm highly upset. 3 years ago, I paid $450 for these Gucci slides at the Gucci store right here in Houston, Texas. And now China done exposed the fact that these shoes right here only cost 75 cents to produce. You know what? Real Gucci slides. I'm done. What the hell with these Gucci slides? You know what? Oh, that's over here. China, listen. If y'all watching this, China, I have nothing against y'all. I want to personally say thank you. What they did was wrong. 75 cents for Gucci slides. I got about 15 pair of these things in my damn closet. What the hell's going on, man? 75 cents? How much were these to produce? How much were these, huh? Were these another one of those famous slides that Valentino that only cost 10 or 12 cents? Listen, I'm buying direct now from the manufacturer. I'm finna start buying manufacturer straight directly. So basically, these are fake. These are basically fake. That's what y'all tell. I'm upset, man. So I've been walking around with fake Gucci slides on the whole time. You mean to tell me I could have just walked into a knockoff store and bought these same Gucci slides for $10 or $12? Nobody would have knew that they was fake. Like, people say it's the quality, but nobody's gonna walk up and say, hey, let me feel the quality of your Gucci slides. Hey, let me feel the quality of your Ameri to see if it's real. I'm upset, man. China, thank you for exposing these people. This is how I feel about these Gucci slides. Thank you again, China. We, as Americans, appreciate you guys exposing the truth. Thank you. So the reason why I'm up late tonight, because I'm going through my collection and I'm looking at all the money that I spent on all these slides. I probably got 25 pair of Gucci slides. And when I think about the money that I spent on these Gucci slides, I could have started a small business. You know, I could have used that money to really help somebody in need. And if it wasn't for China exposing the truth, I would have went on with my day-to-day life, not really caring and stuff like that, you know, and just, you know, just continue to support these designers and buy Gucci. But I realized, man, I was supporting nothing but a scam.
The way China is spilling the beans on these luxury brands, okay? But the DH girls try to tell y'all. They tried to tell y'all, okay?
When that Chinese man got on his app and said all the luxury items are made in China and they only go to Italy to have the tag put on it, the designer tag, and once that designer tag is put on it, now it can say made in Italy because only that small little percentage was actually made in Italy, but that's all it takes to say made in Italy. Now it makes it over here to our designer boutiques and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for something that was in fact made in China, not Italy. I don't care how much you're spending on the thing. Chances are it is coming from China. The only part that was actually made in Italy was when they put the designer tag on there. And this is why the wealthiest of wealthy people buy inspired by items. Why? Why would you spend the whole day? Listen, I did a whole series on Birkins, and in one of the, you can see it in my like viral things I have pinned up there, but one of the videos was talking about the Birkin sort of like Tupperware party that all the wealthy Upper East Side women in New York have. They're not spending money on real Birkins. They're not shucking and jiving for Birkin. They call the people over in China and get the same. Yeah, so if you know, you know that people actually have Birkin connects direct to manufacturer. And that's how they're getting them made. But the wealthy people, the people who are not like going through the foolishness of the Birkin game, the people who could care less because they don't need to look rich, they're actually not trying to look rich because they are wealthy. That's the difference. Those are the people I'm talking about. But y'all,
if your TikTok is not full of Chinese content right now, then you are definitely lost, especially if you're into fashion or you're an online vendor or business owner. So apparently, because of the tariff wars going on between the United States of America and China, Chinese manufacturers are exposing the big brands. Adidas, Nike, Gucci, Dior, Louis Vuitton, name them. Chinese manufacturers are like, oh, tariffs you say? Let's play this game. American people or everyone in the world, you like these big brands, right? Okay, their location is XYZ and Guangzhou. Their manufacturers are XYZ and here are their products. I have literally seen Chinese manufacturers threaten big brands. I literally saw a video where this manufacturer said, you see that Chanel bag you buy in that boutique for $100? You can actually get it for $5 back here. So make the move. They are literally playing the Uno reverse card. Now, I do not know how this tariff war is going to end, but if it doesn't, it's going to be beneficial for us Banku wearers, and it's going to cause a little problems. But I think everything will be fine eventually.
You was using your hard-earned money. Some people, their whole checks for the month. 500, 800, 1,000, 3,000, 6,000 for knockoffs. We're worth $15. This whole time you thought you were getting the best clothes from Italy? Nah, it was just knockoffs from China. And I'm kind of confused on why exactly they're doing this. It's really a slap in the face of the people that love designer. A huge slap in the face. They're sending a message to the Americans like, you might as well not buy this. It's a waste of time. I think I can see why the upper class don't buy designer. It's usually how they keep the poor people poor. How many young individuals die for designer? Literally, people have lost their lives to get designer. This can be a very good thing for the future though. It's these huge big corporations that keep the young people poor. Like as soon as you get a little bit of money, you want to give it to the higher ups. I keep your money, bro. You was getting scammed this whole time. And the worst part about it is now if you want to sell it, people are going to be very hesitant to buy it. There's nothing wrong with liking designer, but just buy the fake stuff. Nobody gonna know.
You know the tariff war is getting bad because ain't no TikTok in China. So how are they all landing on our FYP? Now I know you've been seeing this guy all over your FYP. Well, he goes by the name of Sin Bags, and he's basically been exposing luxury brands, their costs, and how you can get these bags directly. Albeit you won't get the label, but you'll still get the quality material. And you've also probably been seeing this woman here. Well, she goes by the name of Luna, sourcing China, and she lets you know the distributors for some of your favorite clothing brands, including Lululemon. Now, people have been trying to figure out, why are these people coming across FYP? Well, here's the thing. We've gone through a tariff war with the United States and China has started to reduce their regulations on a lot of things, which includes counterfeiting. If you guys didn't know, China is an authoritarian regime, and so they have strict guidelines when it comes to counterfeiting because prior to all the tariff wars, they used to have a relationship with the US, and China used to honor patents as well as trademarks for a lot of these luxury brands. Until the trade war happened, and then they just said, F it. Now, before the trade war, we were still able to get those dupes from the gate, if you know what I will. But that's because most of those distributors hadn't got caught yet. Because again, prior, China had this like, if we don't see it, it's not occurring type of policy. But if they did see it, then they would be taken down. And that's why a lot of those gate Alibaba, AliExpress type of companies would often go down, and it'd be really hard to find those distributors again because they would get caught. And then they would have to come back and rebrand as a new name, even though they still had the same material. But now that those regulations have been dropped, you're going to start seeing a lot more of these distributors basically just selling directly to you. And what makes the story even more funny is that TikTok's not in China, y'all. It's not there. It's under a different subsidiary name, but it's not TikTok, and those apps don't cross. So the fact that you're seeing these videos makes it even more hilarious.
So China's taking on Donald Trump's tariffs in a way that a lot of people are not yet talking about. China is exposing a lot of the most luxury brands for being manufactured in China. And basically what China is saying is that you don't need to pay $10,000 for this bag or $100 for those leggings. You can get that bag for $100, those leggings for $5 from us. And essentially what this is doing is it's going to take the power away from those billionaires running the West and giving it back to the rest of us. We can make the decision of where we spend our money. And a lot of these brands, Prada, Lululemon, Burberry, Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Michael Kors, Nike, all of these are just being exposed. And the fact that you can just go buy these direct from warehouse. And they're not actually as special as you think they are. This is going to have some pretty big ripple effects.
America. That designer that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, all of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs. If that's what y'all want to call them, Canal Street specials, if I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes, their shoes made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China. And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make it for cheaper, and we might as well not buy that designer that we've been buying. It's kind of strange to me because a lot of people been losing their lives to get designer. It's a lot of people that lost their lives over designer. And you're telling me that China's been making it? All I can say is this trade war is exposing the real from the fake and the fake from the real. If that makes sense. I'm out.
Are the brands we use every day overcharging us? My short answer is yes, and here's why. I believe that most people are aware of these, but for the people who may not know, what they reviewed is actually pretty shocking, because for products that are sold in hundreds or even thousands actually just cost a fraction of a price to manufacture. So how does these brands justify such insane markups? It comes down to this: we are not buying the product, we are actually buying the story. Brands spend millions of dollars each year into marketing strategies designed to make us feel a certain way, be it making us feel more confident, or giving us a sense of identity, or even selling you a status. Remember, they don't just sell a product, they sell the results of you owning it. And because we attach emotion into what we buy, we often do not question the price we pay. We want to feel successful, we want to be stylish, we want to be somebody, and branding gives us this feeling. So the next time you buy something, think about what you're actually paying for. If it still makes sense to you, then sure, go ahead. But at least now you are making a more informed decision.
So wait, let me get this straight. For years, we've been called conspiracy theorists about big corporations just slapping the Made in America or Made in France logos on everything. And all of these products were actually made in China. And now, Chinese manufacturers, they are straight up exposing them. Posting videos, receipts, factory floor footage, it's all out there. Turns out that $800 handbag, that luxury artisan cookware, yeah, that all costs $7 to make in China. Your favorite woke corporation, they just slap their logo on it and sell it back to you for 100 times the regular price. And here's the kicker. The same corporations are out here crying about Trump's tariffs, claiming it would ruin business. No, what ruined business is out here lying to Americans while outsourcing jobs, exploiting labor, and, well, pretending to be premium brands. Now, the Chinese manufacturers, they are cutting the middleman and they are going straight to the source, the American people. Yes, you have to order in bulk, like 100 plus units. But they're offering the transparency in the U.S. that corporations are refusing to give. Here's the truth. Trump's tariffs, they didn't hurt the American consumer. They hurt globalist corporations who are overcharging Americans, all while profiting off of huge profits by cheap labor. And now they're getting exploited by the very factories they exploited themselves. So if you're a small business owner, this is your moment. You could work directly with suppliers, you could build your own brand, and cut all the corporate snakes out of the equation. Just know what you're doing, because not everything is worth buying in bulk. But hey, the opportunity's there, right? Tariffs didn't fail, greed did. And Trump warned us. Now it's all coming to light.
Come with me to check out China's biggest luxury wholesaler. Thanks to President Trump's recent tariffs, Chinese manufacturers for luxury brands like Hermes, Chanel, LV, etc. are coming out of the woods and offering direct sale to us peasants and the US at a pinch of the price. When you walk in, they hand you gloves because the goods you're about to handle are still the same top quality. I've never seen so many Hermes bags lined up in front of me, let alone try every size and color on like I'm in Walmart. Best part is there's no sales assistant stalking you, no upsells, and you're only paying 20% of the price. These only range from $250 to $500. That's a steal. Manufacturers are exposing luxury brands for what the bags actually cost. Now that Donnie's pissed off the peasants, all hell's broken loose.
Zara's supplier in China. So Zara have different suppliers for different categories of things. For their sweaters or like jumpers, they source from Changshu Sophia West Sweater Co., Changshu Sophia Maoshan. Also, this company 东莞普莱雅纺织科技有限公司，东莞普莱雅 Textile Technology. For their puffer jackets, they source from this company, 泉州鲁鲁森服饰，泉州鲁鲁森 Garment. For their nightgowns, they source from this 汕头龙湖 District 锦织，汕头龙湖区锦织毛织厂。They also supply Acne Studio, Armani, and also Celine. For their trousers, they source from 东莞创点 Clothing, 东莞创点服饰。For their shoes, they're supplied by 元利通 Shoes Co. Limited, 元利通鞋业。东阳列超 Clothing Factory, they supply belts for Zara. 义乌阿兰 Jewelry, they supply hair accessories. And for the jewelry, they are supplied by 青岛进宝 Jewelry Co. They probably have more suppliers across the world, but these are the ones they're using at the moment in China. Hopefully Zara is not going to come for me. Well, this is actually public information. That's why I can know this. So if you're interested to get the same supplier as Zara, these are the options. All of these companies also sell their clothes like to individual customers, so you don't have to make bulk orders. You just need to find them on Taobao. And all of these information are available on 1688. I'm not too sure if it's on Alibaba, but you can try.
There's just been lives of these people from China selling luxury goods, right? Chanel bags, Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Fendi, Hermes, like all these designer brands, right? Y'all, these accounts are getting banned in real time. I was literally just watching a live. I'm chatting, I'm commenting, I'm asking questions about the different bags behind them, and then all of a sudden the live just ends. I was like, oh, that's weird. So I go to their page, account banned.
I don't know if this is some sort of retaliation against what China's doing, but it's crazy to see this happen in real time. And I'm honestly so sad that the live got clapped because there was 2 bags that I was about to get and now I don't get a bag. Like, China's really out here being like, oh, okay, so you thought that Louis bag was from France. Nah, that shit came from us. Now they got me looking at my Louis bags like, Granted, these were gifted to me, so I didn't even pay for these, but like looking at it, I'm like, it says made in France. But I'm looking at it like, were you actually, or are you a lie? This whole thing got me just looking at my bags. Like this one I got in Italy, and it says, I know it says it in here, it says it on the thing, made in Italy. But again, were you actually made in Italy? Or were you made in China? Not that it actually matters, because like, look how cute this bag is. And I mean, I only paid $40 for this bag, and like the little bee thing, and I love this bag. I really don't care where it comes from. Like this Louboutin bag might have come from China instead of Paris, but honestly, again, I don't care where my bags come from. All I care about is, are they cute and does the material feel good? Nah, but for real, I love that China is being so petty. Like, how is the American government gonna refer to the Chinese people as peasants and expect nothing in return? China's winning this trade war, and honestly, keep it up.
It looks like China ain't come to play with us. They done came out and exposed to the world that these bags that we think are dupes, knockoffs, fakes, they are actually real. And these luxury retailers, oh, they got another storm coming because China is letting the cat out the bag to let folks know you ain't even got to go to them no more. You can just pull up on us and we gonna give you the real deal. Ooh, I don't know if Trump done pissed off the wrong people, but these people out here just telling you, listen, all these folks do is buy from us. They take them to their little warehouses, put that little stamp on it, but it came from us. It came from us. And you know what? Y'all was out here making fun of people for rocking dupes and trying to look at a bit Jordan to see if the jump man turned to the left or the right. But realistically, 95% of everything we use on a day-to-day basis come from China. So how can we discredit these people? We can't. So you know what, y'all? Bump all that. You want a Hermes, you want a Chanel, no matter if you can or you can't afford it. Hey, China said they got it for you. It's hot and it's ready. Don't worry about going to these luxury retailers because we can get it to you. We can ship it to you. We got what you need.
3, 2, 1.
One here, you know, the original. You know, this is the where is it? Look at the price. This is the original Gucci shoe.
I will tell you 30 luxury brands. Some of their products are made in China. Ralph Lauren, Armani, Nike, Dior, Lululemon, Apple, Michael Kors, Coach, Calvin Klein, Prada, Celine, Swarovski, Adidas, The North Face, Rimowa, Levi's, Burberry, Versace, Chanel, Cartier, Ferragamo, Timberland, Yves Saint Laurent, Victoria's Secret, Puma, Uniqlo, Disney, Max Mara, Givenchy. The producing cost is only 1/10 of its price.
China, please expose Jaded London. Like, please. Like, I need to know where they're getting their stuff. Like, Summer's around the corner. Like, all the other brands, I don't really care. But Jaded London, like, you're on my hit list. China, please respond.
So we all see what's going on here. Everyone is getting exposed. All the top designers that have been charging people the lowest price for a bag, $1,000, and then it goes up to the Birkin that goes up to like $10,000, and it costs nothing but $10 to make these bags. Really. Jordans, Nikes, people done died, literally died over Jordans and Nikes for them to only cost $10 to make. We have been getting played. Like, everyone has been getting played. The thing I'm going to say about this is that it's over for the luxury brands. I'm telling you right now, it is over for them. Everything is about to fall. This doesn't make China any better, okay? China, they're not a good country. They don't really like Americans. And this is just a card that they're pulling to get up one on the United States, okay? It doesn't make China any better. Now they're just trying to steal all the customers and trying to get people to just buy straight from them. How about we just don't shop at China at all, okay? Because we are in a turf war with them. How about we don't shop with them at all, okay? I don't even know what else to say. This is, you know, in the Bible it says that everything will be exposed towards the last days, and everything is being exposed. All these major brands are being exposed right now, okay? So when people were walking past the knockoffs in the street, you were better off buying the knockoffs in the street. Just buy the knockoffs in the street. Don't even buy from these stores anymore. Everything's about to fall. Everything is about to fall. And like I said, this doesn't make China any better. Because if you go to China right now, they will not welcome you, okay? I just seen a video where the lady said when she gets off the plane in China, there's no Facebook, there's no social media, there's everything. They control everything, okay? They control everything. So it's not going to make it any better of us buying straight from China, okay? They're just trying to get a one-up on the United States. And to these luxury companies, these luxury brands, all y'all, because so many people look down on people because they couldn't afford these designer. People skip paying the rent so they can get designer. People done died over designer. Like, this is bullshit. I never was crazy about designer. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about no damn designer. You know what I'm saying? But it's so many people that are brainwashed, and they do. And this is exposing everything. All right, people, we need to wake up. Wake up, okay? Don't start going to China to get this. It's all bullshit, okay? It's all fuck China, fuck the designers, all of them. All of them. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say. All right? I know I'm being very blunt about this, but it's all a game. Everyone's being played. Okay? China's doing this so you can run over to them and they can get your money, okay? Because they're in a turf war with the United States. Do not fall for this, okay? And like I said, to the major designers, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of you guys, it's over for you guys. Your money is going to stop now. It's over, okay? No one's going to pay $1,000 for a shirt, $1,000 for a bag when they know that it's made in China for $10. Literally, sneakers are made for $10, but sold here for like $150. It's sad because people have died over this. It's really sad. But yes, everything is being exposed. So I'm just going to sit back and watch. But do you think I'm going to shop at China? Hell no. Hell no. Because I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing.
China exposing luxury brands. I'm sure you guys are all aware, okay, that Trump has put tariffs on China. Now, China has responded since then, and they stated that they're prepared for whatever the U.S. throws at them, okay? It doesn't have to be that way, and they can come up with some agreement, but if it doesn't, it is what it is, okay? And China has also explained that they've survived without the U.S. before, because as we all know, and if you don't know, go look it up. There was a time where China and U.S. was not working together. You know what I'm saying? So they are prepared to go back to that. And then they go into more details about what China can do without the U.S. and how they don't need it. So basically, they're saying that Trump is just trying to be a bully to get what he wants, and they're not going for it. Okay, so right after that, that's when China exposed these luxury companies and that the stuff that they are selling is actually not worth the price that they're getting. But I could have sworn about a year or two ago, and it was actually on TikTok, that was already exposed, that these luxury brands, these high quality products and high price items, is the materials to make those things was literally like $20 to $30. And I am the type of person, this is just me, okay? You live your life how you live your life. But me, if I see a bag or pants or something or a shirt, whatever it is, if I see something on one website, it's like $1,000+, but then I go to another site and see the same exact pants or the same exact shirt, purse, whatever I'm looking for, the same exact thing for a whole lot cheaper price, I'm going to go with that option. because I'm literally only paying for the brand's name. You know what I'm saying? Now, I like how y'all going about it. I like how y'all laughing about it. I love us. That's all I'm gonna say. I love us. But you know, let's just sit back and enjoy the show.
I saw you know this brand. No? Yeah.
I like a European.
Is it bigger in your hand?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not like the biggest, but it's like mid-size. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I see. You have to end up start. Okay.
Double top, please. These are the pieces. Full leather.
Everything with the barcode. We read the letter to the placement first. Then you go inside, it's more like a woven.
Oh,
you have the
luxury hand brand, yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. Wagwan people. I'm here in China. I'm at a factory, a handbag factory. Hi, Wagwan. Nikita. Dea, Zen lifestyle. We're walking to another area right now, y'all. Card holders.
And also card holders.
Yes, yes.
Cross-body bags.
Yes.
Yes. Because they are happiness, I want to support them.
Makes sense.
All the leather, touches, yeah.
Thank you.
All the leather we sourcing from nearby.
Lacoste. This is Lacoste. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. This is for men?
For men's, yeah.
I would want it too. It could be for women too. I would want it.
I can see maybe it's unisex.
Unisex. I could definitely see unisex.
It's like a toilet.
It could be unisex.